Hi everyone! Hello from the pregnancy and third trimester trenches. It's been a little while because third trimester hit me so hard. I definitely feel like my nausea is back a little bit, which is weird. I'm just bigger, having a hard time moving around, and my carpal tunnel in both hands has been so bad I can barely make a fist. So yeah, I'm surviving, not necessarily thriving, but it's okay, we're getting through it. I thought today we would talk about some of my winter favorites, things that are getting me through this winter, not necessarily pregnancy related, although some of them are. I have skincare, makeup, some fashion bits, body care, all kinds of stuff, fragrance. So why don't we just get into it, and I'll share, some of these are new releases and some of these are things that are new to me. And I have some old favorites here as well. So why don't we start with skincare? So one of the things I'm dealing with is very little sleep. The insomnia is real. It's more like a series of naps through the night than sleeping through the night. If you've been pregnant, you know. So this has been a hero product for me. This is the Beekman 1802 Milk RX Advanced Better Aging Dual Eye Treatments. And it's basically a duo of eye treatments that have been such a game changer for me. And you get an eye serum as well as an eye cream. It's interesting because I feel like so many eye creams focus on targeting the under eye rather than the upper lid. And you guys know my upper lid, I always talk about this. It is my tell for if I'm sleeping, if I'm not sleeping, if I'm tired, how sensitive my skin is feeling. And so this has been amazing. This portion of the video is also sponsored by Beekman 1802. You guys know I really love the brand. Amazing for sensitive skin. There are so many standouts from the brand. But this is basically like a two-step eye treatment. So you get your little applicator, which is a metal ball. Very, very cooling, and it's just nice to use it to apply. So I go in with the eye cream first. And this is a wrinkle smoothing cream. It uses peptides and exosomes, and I apply that to the under eye, and it's super rich and creamy. It's amazing for winter because it has that like richness and emollients that really sticks around. And then I go into the eye serum, which is this side. It's a little bit lighter, and I use the applicator to apply that to the upper lid. And this is also great because it uses peptides to create a more lifted, sort of sculpted look, just to create some tightness and firmness around that eye area, and especially targeting like crepiness. I'm not wearing any eye makeup today. I haven't been wearing any eye makeup at all lately, actually, because I've just been tired. I'm laying down throughout the day. I'm rubbing my eyes. It's just not on my list of priorities, but I'm really happy with how my eye area looks. I've been using this for a month or so, I would say, and I feel like my eye, especially the upper eyelid, is looking tight. It's looking lifted. It's helping me look awake even if I'm not feeling awake, and it's just been a really nice new essential in my routine. And I kind of like that I have two different textures that target different areas of the eye, and I feel like I'm really getting like a customized eye treatment for the upper and lower lids. And I will also mention that this looks great under makeup, like concealer during the daytime. It's great at night because it is a little bit richer. I feel like it sticks around. It doesn't just like slide off my eyes or onto my pillowcase or whatever. And it's paired really well with any under eye concealer I use, even though it's on the richer side. If you've never tried Beekman 1802, their products, or their kind of hero ingredient in their products, is goat milk. And you guys know my skin just loves all things goat milk. I feel like it's really good for sensitive skin. It's great for moisture, and yeah, my skin just drinks this up. Speaking of drinking things up, I am still loving and heavily relying on my Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Probiotic Barrier Essence. It's a very rich, milky essence. It is thick, and that's why I love it for winter. It's not scented, it's creamy, it's almost like a liquid moisturizer. I use this in my Essence Step After Toner and before serum, and it's unscented. It has ceramides. It uses rice, which traditionally kind of helps with brightening and evening the tone of skin. And I feel like if you have dry skin, this is beautiful for layering. Even if you don't have dry skin, it's a really nice kind of moisturizing step. You could just use this as your moisturizer if you have oily skin. And I really like layering it with other products or layering it on its own. I feel like it's an essence that actually kind of sticks around on the skin. And I do use that morning and night. Next up, I've been revisiting an old favorite. This is the Niod Copper Amino Isolate Serum. They have CAIL, which is like their lipid, like gel, oily serum, or like oily balm. This one is a water-based serum. And if you're not familiar with copper peptides, they give the serum this blue color. And copper peptides have been really great for me throughout this pregnancy because they support anti-aging or well aging, especially right now when I can't use retinoids. They kind of help the appearance of fine lines or visible wrinkles. They kind of make your skin more elastic and bouncy. And this also has a tripeptide in here that's going to help with that sort of skin structure as well. So it's been great. It's a very easy product because it's water-based. It's easy to incorporate into any sort of skincare routine. I use it morning or night. I've also been loving the Allies of Skin, their blue serum that also has copper peptides in it. I mentioned that in my 2025 skincare favorites, but that one is a little bit richer and this one's water-based, so I've actually been using this one in the morning and then the Allies of Skin one at night. But they're both really beautiful. This one's just a little bit more affordable, although it is on the high end, and I do see a real difference when I have copper peptides in my skincare routine. I also don't know if this is due to the copper peptides or due to my skin just liking the copper peptides, but I do feel like my skin tone is a little bit more even when I use this, and my skin is just calmer. So it's just been something that I've really appreciated having back in my routines. I haven't used it in like maybe 1 or 2 years, and I am remembering how much I love it. And then I have the latest release from Prequel. This is their Barrier Therapy Rich Skin Protectant Cream, and they have a regular version of this, and now they just released the rich version. This is a face and body situation. You can use it either way. I have used it either way, and it's really great for sensitized skin. So this has 1% colloidal oatmeal, allantoin, multi-ceramides, and adenosine. And basically it's very soothing. It's rich, but it doesn't feel too greasy. This is the texture. You can see it's really quite on the stiff side, and it kind of melts into the skin. You can feel it create a barrier over the skin, and it's one of the rare moisturizers that I actually do like on face and body. I can use it on my face and I bring it sort of all the way down my décolleté. I've used it all over the body as well. This is great if you sort of need that extra moisture but you don't like anything sticky. This is not sticky. It does take a little bit more time to absorb because it is richer, but it doesn't leave your skin feeling like greasy or heavy. You guys know I love Prequel. I've emptied the original version of this moisturizer many times, and I am kind of excited that they have a rich version of this. Since we're talking about like moisturizing and the body, I've obviously, because I'm pregnant, I've been trying a lot of different moisturizers, balms, things like that. And actually this has really surprised me, especially as I'm in my 3rd trimester and I'm getting bigger. This is the Aquaphor Ointment Body Spray. This is amazing if you're very pregnant, if you have any mobility issues, if you don't like traditional body moisturizer. It's a spray that moisturizes, and it's fragrance free. Because it's a spray, it's lighter, although it does give you a decent amount of moisture. And this has been great as I'm like having a harder time reaching my legs, my feet, my back, that kind of thing. And it is very soothing, very moisturizing, and it's an aerosol spray, so you can spray it upside down if you want to like reach different parts of your body. It's a continuous spray. It's something that I didn't even know existed in the Aquaphor line until I got pregnant, and then I heard someone else talking about this, and it's just such a convenient product. I feel like, especially if you have any mobility issues or things like that, but honestly, I think anyone would love this, and I'm going to keep repurchasing it even after I'm pregnant because it is just so easy to use. If you're not someone that, or if you're someone that's limited by not laziness, but not wanting to do the whole body care routine, this is great because you can just spray it on and go. On the other hand, this one is a little bit more involved, but I love it. This is the Cyclar In Shower Body Oil Balm. It's a balm that you apply to wet skin before you get out of the shower, and it's very stiff, it's very rich. It's almost like an ointment. But if you apply it while your body is still warm and damp, it kind of holds in moisture before you even get out of the shower or the tub or whatever. I don't like it everywhere. Mostly if I'm going to use a scented product, I'm going to use it on my arms and legs, so I like it for that. I also love the scent Vanilla Verve. It's one of my favorites in their line. It's sort of like a cozy, woodsy vanilla, and I find that the moisture lasts a really, really long time. So I like this after like a bedtime bath, and I find that the moisture lasts overnight. The scent also lasts, but it's not too heavy, which is what I prefer for body products. So this came out at the end of last year, and I've really been enjoying it. Let's talk nails, because something new I've been doing just in the last month out of necessity is taking a break from gel manicures. I do my gels at home. I often get questions about this, and I really like doing them at home, but I have a really bad habit of peeling off my gel manicure, and I've noticed that my nails are a little bit brittle and a little bit thin, and so I've decided to take a break. And I'm also wondering if like postpartum, especially in the first couple months, I'll even want to be doing my nails or doing a gel manicure at home. So I have a couple of really good alternative options. The first one is the Essie To The Rescue polish. It looks like this, and this is actually specifically designed to restore nail health from UV damage from gel manicures. I don't think this has a shade, but it's kind of just like a milky translucent shade, which is the kind of gel polish that I like to use anyway. And I have noticed that this has really helped with nails that are like peeling or a little bit like dry and brittle and thin. It's definitely restored some nail thickness, and it's just smoothed over like the ridges in my nails left over from my gel manicure damage. So I was using this, I would say like once a week for a couple of weeks. And then just recently I switched over to the Manicurist, which is now stocked in Sephora. And this is one of their regular polishes. They have their own actually like green gel polish system, but this is one of their regular polishes. It's called the Nail Care Effects Active Smooth. And this is what I have on right now. It is really nice. It's like a translucent milky shade. I have 3 layers on of this, and this is meant to smooth and even, and these are both just like one-step things. I don't do any primer, I don't do any top coat. I'd say they both last like up to a week. So obviously you're not gonna get the same longevity as you do with gel polish, but it's just so much easier to remove or paint over a chip if I happen to chip a nail, and they both have a similar look. This one is a little bit milkier, I would say, and then the Essie one is a little bit more, I don't know, slightly cool toned. But yeah, my nails are in pretty good health right now, and it's been really nice just to kind of take a little bit of a break, and my nail care routine is much more simplified right now. So I'm really, really enjoying these. The Manicurist also has, like in this range, some clear polishes like this, a few other sort of like milky translucent shades that are really nice. So definitely check those out. I'll link those below. Okay, let's move on to makeup. Makeup has been very minimal for me, but it's about minimal with high impact. I don't wear makeup every day, but when I do want to feel a little bit pulled together, this is what I've been reaching for. On my lips right now, I have the Fui 3D Volumizing Gloss. They look like this. If you're not familiar with these, Fui is a K-beauty brand. They have these glosses that have different opacities. So there's like a 30% option if you like something sheerer. There's a 70% option, all within the same shade. If you want something more pigmented, it's kind of cool. I haven't seen any other brands do that. I have 3 that I've been rotating between. The one that I have on my lips today is Scotch 70%. Also, the packaging on these is just so cute. And this is actually interesting because it's a thicker gloss than I typically go for. It has a little bit of body. I won't say it's sticky because it's not like it's stringy when you move your lips or press your lips together, but it has a richness and it actually really sticks around, and that's kind of why I've been loving it. And Scotch is such a beautiful, slightly brown toned nude shade, but it also has like a little bit of brightness. And so this is what I've been wearing a lot of. So this one is Vanilla 70%, and it's a really beautiful like pink pinky shade. And then if you like something a little bit more of a mid-tone rose, this one is Rosy 70% in the middle. And then the one on my lips here at the end, this is Scotch 70%. So you can see it's a little bit more brown and slightly warmer toned. And they do have a really nice shine. They kind of smooth over any lip lines, and they actually do stay on the lips throughout the day, which is really, really nice. All right, for base, I have two products that are not new to me, but this is just what I've been reaching for. When I am wearing makeup right now, I've just been wanting something natural that makes my skin look glowy and even toned, and I don't want to have to work too hard to apply it. So I've actually been using the Live Tinted Hue Glow. These are their like highlighter drops. This is the shade Moonlight. It's really beautiful because it looks white, but it's sheer and it's pearly, and it has this like gorgeous translucency, and it adds a little bit of moisture, a little bit of not slip, but it does add a little bit of hydration to the cheeks. And I really just take a dot on each cheek, and there's no glitter, but it adds this beautiful like glossiness. And you can use this over foundation, but I actually like to use this almost as a glowy primer, just one dot here and one dot here on the tops of my cheekbones. That's kind of what's giving me the glow here today. I use a brush and I just kind of apply a very sheer layer to add that little bit of extra juiciness on the cheeks where I want it. And then I'm going in with an Old Faithful. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I wear the shade 5. Reviewed this last year. It was in my 2025 favorites. It's just so hydrating. It makes the skin look juicy. It makes it look like you just applied skincare. And I love how natural it feels and looks on the skin. It really stretches with the skin. They actually just are coming out with a concealer in this range, which I'm very excited to test and try. So I'll review that for you when I get my hands on it. Oh, and I will say the coverage on this is pretty good. Like, I apply a very sheer layer. It's like a light coverage, but it's buildable to definitely like a medium coverage for a skin tint. So if you're looking for something that has a bit of coverage flexibility, this is great for that. Going back to K-Beauty, I have a blush that I simply cannot stop wearing. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing a different one that I'll talk about in a bit, but this is a brand called Nuse, N-U-S-E, and they have this liquid blush formula called the Mousse Care Cheek. This is actually limited edition packaging. Their other packaging is like a mint green for their permanent range, but the shade I'm going to talk about is in their permanent range, and the shade is called 05 Dim Dum, D-I-M-D-U-M-B. And it's such an interesting shade because it comes out like this. It's almost like a lip gloss applicator, and it is a super muted, almost gray toned mauve shade, and it has like a purple lilac kind of smoky gray undertone. On the cheeks, it is so flattering if you have fair to light skin. If you're honestly much tanner than me, this might not show up on you, but I do love the formula as well, and they have more saturated shades as well. I just take some on the back of my hand, I take a brush, and I stamp it across the cheeks, and it gives me the most beautiful, like nude, desaturated, cool toned blush. I feel like this is the kind of shade that's very difficult to find in Western beauty. It's just so unique and not a typical blush shade, but that's kind of what I love about it. And it's the kind of blush shade that's like a no makeup kind of blush. It has a really beautiful sheerness. You can build it up if you want. And there are so many shades in this range that are really beautiful, really stunning. But that is such a unique blush to my collection that I wanted to mention it. Even though it's very desaturated, it's a very fair shade. It's so unique that I have been reaching for it a lot, even just to layer with other blushes, and I had to mention it. On the more saturated end, let me tell you what I'm wearing today. So I have been really, really enjoying the Sochi Blurring Pillow Blush, and these are a cream blush, but it's like a creme to powder, specifically this shade Rosy Rest. This is what I'm wearing today. I'll actually reapply a little bit. This is the Makeup by Mario F1 brush, but I just pat my brush in here and I stamp it on the cheeks. And this one is really nice because it's a cream blush that's not too glowy. Same with the Nuse one. Neither of these are too shiny. They kind of set down to a natural finish. This one is definitely a Western beauty product. Like it has more saturation, more pigment. It's definitely more buildable, but I do see how it is blurring because it has that creme to powder finish to it. It blurs over pores or skin texture. I love how buildable it is, and I love that it kind of sets to, it doesn't set down all the way, but it does sort of set to a natural matte finish. I've also been liking the shade Speak Easy, and this is almost like a brownie berry. It has like sort of like a murkier, rustier tone to it. So that's been something I'm reaching for a lot, and these are nice because they're also refillable. They come in a bunch of different shades as well. And honestly, my makeup routine right now, if I am wearing makeup, is really complexion, a little bit of blush, a little bit of lip balm or lip gloss or something. And that's just what is pulling me together right now. I feel like in the dead of winter, I kind of just need a little bit of glow, a little bit of color, but I'm also not, I don't have it in me to reach for more glam makeup at the moment, and that's okay with me. Another very cozy product that I've been loving is Dead Cool Mochi Milk. If you're not familiar with Dead Cool, they're kind of one of my most used perfume brands. I love Dead Cool Milk if you like something cleaner and fresher. Love Dead Cool Taunt if you love a vanilla. This is a gourmand, but it's not a super like sickly sweet gourmand. It is on the sweeter side though than what I typically like. The notes in this, top notes are marshmallow, peach nectar, enveloping incense. Middle notes are sweet rice milk, vanilla bean, and jasmine petals. And bottom notes are Australian sandalwood, sensual amber, and white musk. And the first time I sprayed this, actually, Sean was in a totally different room upstairs and he goes, "What did you just use? It smells like marshmallows." And I was like, "Oh, is it too sweet? Like, is it too strong?" I was surprised because Dead Cool perfumes don't have that much throw, but he was like, "No, I really like it." And it didn't feel like too candy, like a candy. I think it's balanced by like the rice notes, by the jasmine. It is a little bit more playful and definitely on the sweeter side of what I go for, but I think especially now in these cooler months, it has still felt really like cozy and warm, and yeah, I've been reaching for it a lot. And then I'm gonna close out with some fashion favorites. These are actually, none of these are maternity items, but they work well for pregnancy if you are pregnant, but they're all things I'm going to be wearing after baby is here as well. So first I have to mention my Donny pants. Over Black Friday, I got 2 pairs of Donny pants. One of them is their baby rib scallop pant, and I got that in the shade Espresso. It's a brown pant. I think technically they're cropped, but I'm short. I'm 5'4", but I have a longer torso and shorter legs, so it is full length for me. The other pant that I got is the Pointel Simple Crop Pant, and I got that in the shade Charcoal Gray, and these are the only pants I've worn, I think, since Black Friday. I just kind of rotate them and wash them, and they have been so comfortable. I got them in the shade, or sorry, in the size medium. I'm typically a small when I'm not pregnant. Honestly, could have gone with a small because of how stretchy this waistband is. They both just pull on and they're easy to wash. I just kind of air dry them. I prefer to hang dry them, although I have put them in the dryer on accident and it was fine. And honestly, they look nice enough that if I pair them with a jacket or a sweater, they look like an outfit pulled together. Or if I'm just lounging, they're great for that too. They were an investment. I'm glad I got them over Black Friday because they're more than I would typically spend for lounge pants. However, if you value comfort in your life, if you're pregnant, if you need pants that will stretch and flex with you, these are amazing. I just like can't say enough good things about them, and I do think they're worth, I would pay full price again, and honestly might, to get a couple more different shade options in my wardrobe for spring, especially postpartum. They're just so comfy. They're definitely worth it. I've mostly been pairing those with my Uniqlo Heat Tech long sleeves, and I actually bought a bunch of them just in a size large. Typically I wear small, but obviously to accommodate the bump, but they're so stretchy. They're flattering because they do stick to the body, so they do show off the bump, but they're also so stretchy that they've grown with me through pregnancy. And I now have shirts, the Uniqlo shirts in size small, medium, and large in my wardrobe, and I honestly just wear all of them interchangeably. I love their regular crew neck, and I also love their boat neck ones, which are a little bit wider. And I know that they have a version that's like a cashmere blend that I've heard compared to the Intimissimi tops that have gone viral. I'm thinking of checking those out. So if I do, I'll report back, but they are basically all I wear. So that and my Donny pants are like my uniform right now. And then another clothing item I've really loved was actually my birthday present from Sean. And I got a leather jacket, an oversized leather jacket from a brand called Hemi Blur, which is new to me. I just found them when I was looking for a jacket, and I wanted to kind of play around with the high neck trend that we're seeing in oversized leather jackets, but I also wanted it to feel like a moto jacket, like something I could style both ways. So I love this one because it has the bomber feel. It has like the moto collar, but you can wear the high neck or you can sort of tuck it down. So it has more of like a motorcycle jacket feel. It's something that doesn't lean too much into one trend or another. I think it's going to work for me through many seasons. I got the size small. That was back in October. And it still fits me. It's a little bit tight. I don't like button it up all the way over my bump. I kind of just drape it over whatever I'm wearing and leave it open. I'm glad I didn't go bigger because it is already oversized, but the quality is amazing. The lambskin leather is super soft. It's on the heavier side because it's a heavier leather, but it's just really beautifully crafted. I hadn't ever tried anything from Hemi Blur, but I am curious to try more. And I think for a leather jacket, it was super reasonably priced. So I will link that below. And then finally, I have to shout out my Salomon XT6s. I know these are still a very trendy shoe. I bought these about a year ago, and now they're all I wear being pregnant because I can slide into them without bending over and using my hands. I literally just walk into them and then I walk out of them. And they're honestly the only shoe that I'm wearing right now. So this is what you'll see me in: leather jacket, Uniqlo Heat Tech long sleeve, Donny pants, either of them, and then my Salomons. And that's kind of my pregnancy uniform right now. It makes me feel put together. It makes me feel cute as I can be right now. And it's also just extremely comfortable. So wanted to shout out my current pregnancy uniform. But these are all things that I can wear postpartum as well. Okay, so that's it for me. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you found some things that will also take you through the winter blues. If you have any questions, let me know. Of course, everything will be linked below in the description box, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.